welcome to the world of data center innovation with the iMasons podcast, discovering the people leading our industry revolution. My name is Romain Frenchon, and today I'm joined by Jay Frank, hustle entrepreneur, concerned citizens with a background in IT infrastructure and distribution. Jay reached to the iMasons Incubator platform for help. Together, we are discovering Jay's newest venture and exploring ways in which our community can help. Let's get right into it. Hi, Jay. Welcome to the podcast. How are you?
I'm great, Romain. Thanks very much for having me on the podcast.
Yeah, that's a real pleasure. You and I have been talking for a long while about doing this podcast and actually bringing your idea to the iMasons community.
Absolutely, it's been some time since we put forth Symbiotic in the Innovation Incubator within the iMasons to help support the Climate Accord. And again, grateful and happy to be here.
And that's fantastic. So for the listeners that might not know you, do you want to give us an introduction to yourself and your background?
Absolutely. So again, my name is Jay Frank. I am a hustler, entrepreneur, a very concerned citizen of the earth. I live in New York City and have been in technology sales, distribution for the majority of my career. And within that time frame, I've developed a vision which we're here to describe that's named Symbiotic. And Symbiotic is a SaaS platform, social impact as a service, a way that can connect the dots between motivated buyers and procurement looking for social impact and or sustainability to diverse subject matter expert sellers in distribution via the recognizing the cost of doing business between buyer and seller as the commission. What Symbiotic does only is redistribute this commission from profit only to profit and purpose, carving out embedded philanthropy, which can support any of the customers' nonprofit support wants or any cause that matters to the customer to attract buy-side opportunity and again connect the dots. I know that's a lot, but we'll break it down, as we speak. So.
It's been a little while since we talked about it, but the first time we came against it, we actually discussed the fact that there was a strong link with iMasons' motto: connect, grow, give back. I feel like it was right in line with it. How about we break that down into those three parts? Can you take us through the connect part, the parts where you really want to put buyers and sellers together and facilitate their transactions?
Absolutely. I mean, that's why I was so interested in working with the iMasons, because of the essence or the ethos of the platform of doing good in the space of digital infrastructure support, or putting the digital infrastructure into motion. So connecting the dots is what Symbiotic looks to do, is to connect motivated buyers looking for social impact and sustainability to sellers. So again, recognizing there's a cost of doing business, and that's the commission. What Symbiotic looks to do is to layer into any distribution channel that has no social impact or sustainable efforts and give them an opportunity to sell with social impact in their lanes of selling. Just by, again, redistributing the commission. So it doesn't cost anything to be a Symbiotic partner. And this, again, is just a vision. But let's just say, you're trying to sell services and get in front of a large customer that was very interested in climate change or diversity or whatnot. Here's a way to go to market and say, hey, not only can we win or compete on the front end of the business opportunity that you're looking for, but we can also add value in the form of social impact, which we will brand and map and prove. And today's technology is so prevalent and ready to lend itself to use business as a force of good.
So, Jay, take us through the elements that will actually simplify and maybe make all the transactional side of the business easier. I believe you and I have talked about technology before, really becoming the pinnacle of enabling all those transactions to be becoming more efficient, maybe enabling actually more funds to go in the social good aspects of it. Can you take us through this?
Absolutely. So, within capitalism, a key component of such is transactions. So what Symbotic looks to do is connect the buyers to the sellers, and the buyer looking for certain technology, digital infrastructure, whatever it may be, we can connect the dots by realizing, what the service is that they're looking for. So hypothetically, SAP is one of the largest distribution channels on the planet. They have a mandate 5% social good by 2025, which is just next year, which just seemed to back off because it's not that easy to find social impact. So what Symbotic looks to do is to harness the potential of AI to connect the opportunity. So if we could locate the opportunity that fits within the lanes of services offered, we can connect that opportunity to distribution partners that have skill sets that can win on the front end of the merit of the opportunity, utilizing the social good that we promise in transaction via the redistribution of the commission. So only if we win the opportunity does the social impact in the form of embedded philanthropy result in effect. So blockchain is the other technology that is ready to go to prove. Well, we'll get to this imagery in a second, but basically blockchain can prove and map the social impact we carve out of any transaction, from customer logo, the buyer, to the nonprofit they wish to support logo, to the correlating sustainable development goal. And we could prove that on an NFT showcasing the goodwill of all parties. And that is included in the cost. So what we're looking to do is to attract the buy-side opportunities. If we can attract the buy-side opportunity, it's a game changer for the selling community, because most of the selling, oftentimes is a grind. So if we could alleviate that grind and focus on winning the opportunity with skill sets and then solutions. So now we're going to look at this transparency blueprint, which is also a Symbotic circular economy vision. So this pie right here only represents the commission, the total commission earned per transaction. So 100%, no matter if the commission's $100 or $1 million or whatever, 10 rubies, it could be any commission. So here, traditionally the selling platform and the seller share that 100%. What Symbotic looks to do, and this is this component of carved out here is 30%, but that can be shifted. So in this, the weight of the social impact is hefty enough to attract the buy side. So 25% of the commission earned in the transaction is designated for social impact embedded philanthropy, and the 5% for Symbotic is the revenue. That's all we do, is facilitate social impact in the form of embedded philanthropy, supporting any nonprofit the customer chooses. And then once our nonprofits become our partners for alternative fundraising, looking at the untapped revenue that is available for a website, word of mouth, newsletter, or whatnot, any opportunity driven from the nonprofits given back to the selling community, then we've created our circular economy, Symbotic circular economy, recycling that commission, or and that's how it goes. Yeah.
That's fantastic, and this is not the only diagram on your website, but I thought I would bring this one up as it really encompasses the direct aspect of philanthropy, of social good that you hope to bring with your vision. What I'd love you to do is to start depicting how the social good aspects of your vision work. So we now understand that there is a buyer and seller market on the IT goods. All of that generates an amount of cash flow, and a share of it is actually pushed towards embedded philanthropy. That take me through that philanthropy. What's your vision of it? How does it work? Where does it go? Who chooses? And where is it going to be visible?
Absolutely. So again, what we just look at is this cost of doing business as the commission and redistribute it from profit only to profit and purpose, carving out social impact and embedded philanthropy. So at the end of the day, where this comes from is from me as a seller. So I always had a problem trying to meet the buyers without being such a smooth talker, as you could all see. So recognizing that a long time ago, I had to try and figure out ways to get in front of buyers without the smooth talking ability. So 10 years ago or so, I developed a platform within the space I had developed, or a company I developed, Nice Touch Communications, which was a partnership with my brother and I that started after the deregulation of local telephony here in the United States. And we sold all kinds of digital infrastructure services, B2B. So again, trying to get in front of that customer. But sorry, the question was not answered directly. Let's get back right to the question. The customer chooses whatever nonprofit they want to support in the transaction, which the only caveat there is that so long as the nonprofit falls directly within the umbrella of the Sustainable Development Goals. So the Sustainable Development Goals are about 17 different goals, which are more or less the blueprint of rebalancing the planet. Whether it's life on above ground, water. I'm sorry. The goals are, they're global goals, and they're easily recognizable or sought or discovered and learned about on throughout any kind of a social impact knowledge or look. So it's common. Forgive me. It's common knowledge. Anyway, what we look to do is print out a NFT showcasing the goodwill of all parties, which proves and maps and brands the embedded philanthropy that is carved out and included in transactions. So we're going to look to attract buy-side opportunity with undeniable value add of the social impacts that we bring to the table in transactions. So if we can prove that, we can shift the cost of business attraction from kickback to impact. And when we do so, it's not all or nothing. For sellers or buyers, it's opt-in. Let's just say you could choose, whenever you'd want to work with Symbiotic, because there's a cost to the selling side, and that's where the embedded philanthropy comes from. The 30% we showcased in the illustration before is primarily born or owned with the selling side. So we have to make that viable for the seller, and find bigger opportunities for the seller, give the seller more purpose in their day-to-day, give them some hope. And the same thing with procurement professionals, which there's much more demand on right now so there's not many suppliers wishing to give up their commission, but the buyers procurement side have pledged well over 20,000 in a sustainable procurement pledge that was co-founded with two massive German multinationals, Bayer and Henkel. And I spoke with the chief procurement officer of Bayer, and he really likes the idea. But it's like, hey, if you get it into our procurement platforms, I'll certainly advocate for you. So It's been a long road, and Symbiotic fits into, hypothetically, fits into any distribution channel. Again, all we do is redistribute the commission earned in the transaction. And for the distribution channels that are mostly unbranded, nobody knows about, here's a way to give them a partnership where they can go to market with the possibility of utilizing social impact for selling. And it doesn't necessarily matter that they want to do the right thing. They could utilize this within standard capitalism to find buyers that are interested, because the buyers, are going to control, what they buy at the end of the day. I hope this makes sense. It's a lot.
Yeah, a very, very encompassing answer to where social good is going to land, and very comprehensive. I'd love to start understanding a little bit more about where you are today. You were talking about engaging at senior exec levels for presenting the idea and seeing if there is any traction. As you said, there is already traction there. Can you give us the state of where the ideation process is at the moment, and the steps that you're taking at the moment to progress it?
I've leveraged my financial assets to build Symbiotic. Right now I could say it is a blueprint, vision, a moonshot blueprint vision of profit and purpose, but it's just a vision, that encompasses the technology of the day, artificial intelligence and blockchain, to connect the dots and to prove and to map and to branch. So at the moment, it's still just a vision, and I've yet to attract funding, on a very long road to do so. Primarily, I think because what Symbiotic looks to do is not necessarily, or hasn't shown revenue, even though I have a proof of concept from way back, Telecom for Charity, where we donated $60,000 to various different nonprofits. It was not enough it was way ahead of its time. Now's the time to use business as a force of good. And Symbiotic looks to represent that and build, hope and whatnot. So at the present day, we're looking to raise money. And what I meant to say a moment ago is that Symbiotic represents systems change. And that's been the difficult bit of raising money without revenue. So Symbiotics for anybody that looks to, be or have the ability to buy or sell B2B technology infrastructure to start, much like Amazon, disrupted business forever 20 years ago with the ease of consumption. Symbiotic looks to offer ease of social impact and transaction. That's all we do. That's it.
That's great, and I'm glad to hear you say that there's many people talking about it. Glad to see some actually taking action and going for it. So we've been talking about the idea of progress directions, and I have no doubt that right now you're in need of loads of help to actually get it off the ground. Can you take us through this? Who would be your bucket list of people to meet, or things that you wish could just happen, because that would make you step forward like far quicker?
Absolutely. So again, Symbiotic is the ways. We have the ways to connect to means to build a company that could one day be a brand name, like I said, as an antithesis of Amazon, promoting social good in every transaction. That's all we do. So what we're looking for is allies, all kinds of allies, anybody that's interested, fed up enough with traditional business as usual. We have a path forward. We have a path forward that just requires capital, human capital, financial capital, allyship, partners, buying partners. This is wide open. One of the reasons why I've been maybe not so successful, because it's so vast. It does, look into 3 different frameworks of connecting, procurement, distribution, and social good or philanthropy or nonprofit alternative fundraising. So anybody within these spaces that has an interest, I would love to talk to you about how Symbiotic can fit within procurement, within distribution, to buy better or sell better, with the cost of doing business being the social impact, which is really just the redistribution of the commission, which is borne by the seller, that recognizes that they wouldn't have had this opportunity without the buyer interest. So if we can connect the dots there, we can facilitate, much better outcomes. It helped rebalance the planet, one transaction at a time, which is so in line, with the iMason ethos of connecting, giving back, and forging, the shape of the digital future, which is why I was so interested in getting in front of the iMason community. So allies, anybody that's interested, we have a place for you. Friends, people in space, money, we can hire the best humans to come together and to greenfields. We could start one by one and build this from a place that we want to go to, that's not all about profit, but profit and purpose with blended together. And that's all we want to do, is to showcase the possibilities of such, and have some fun at it, recognizing we're in this together, and here's a way that we can work together that, again, layers into so many different directions: procurement, distribution, social impact. And Symbiotic is the vision that I would love to talk to anybody about, and really get into the details of how it might fit for you as a buyer, seller, vendor, supporter, or funder, any which way. I would love to talk to anybody that's interested in utilizing their skill sets, and how we could do so, and potentially even be a co-founder. I'm looking for.
That was great. I think there is so much out there in the iMasons community. I thought I would put your email address one more time on the as a banner at the bottom of the screen. So for anybody who's interested in hearing more about the idea, maybe contributing and actually becoming a partner of Symbiotic, by all means, please reach out to Jay. You'll be hearing more about Jay as we support him through his journey as part of the incubator platform. So any final words for today? And anything else that you'd want to add?
Yeah, thank you, Romy. I'm really grateful to be here. And again, obviously not a smooth talker, but I could speak to any of this. It has been vetted from people around the globe, every which way. And I'm here to invite anybody to speak to me. And I'm grateful again for the iMason community and their commitment towards the climate accord. Here's a way forward, not necessarily about sustainability, but for sure, when we develop, we will connect sustainable solutions with social impact, which goes even deeper. And that's what we're trying to do, is to attract the opportunity and people that want to do good, businesses that want to do good. Here's a way forward. And please reach out. And very grateful for being here. And I am much more hopeful that we can connect these dots. Thank you, guys. Thank you for everything.
Well, Jay, the only thing that is for me that is left for me to do today is to thank you very much for taking the time, come and explain your vision of your future, full of social goods. And I have no doubt that you will have many people reaching out to you. On that note, I want to thank you, and hope to see you all very soon. Take care.
Peace.